Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be doing an install on my beautiful client. This is the wig we are going to be installing. It's a curly kinky hair, and she got the hair from LuvMe hair. She did bring in her own hair for me to install it. Now I will say LuvMe hair did a good job with this hair because the knots came bleached already. I did not have to bleach the knots, and you can see the hairline and the baby hair came pre-plucked already, so that's a plus on my part for this wig. Okay, this is how the curls look. It's very kinky curly texture, but we're gonna finesse it and have this hair installed on her. Her braids are already done, so we're just gonna jump right into it. So the first thing we're doing with this install is our ball cap method. Okay, using the ball cap method, I just use our stocking, or 10 stockings. I try to use a stocking that close to the person's skin tone. Once I put that on the ear, I usually split the ear part just to have the ear tabs laying as flat. Then I just use got to be spray, and I spray it on the hairline. This just helps secure the stockings, and the stockings serve as a barrier to the person's head and the wig, and it serves as a scalp underneath the person's wig. Once I put the got to be spray, I blow dry it, and once I know that it's dry, then I take my needle and thread and I sew down the back of the stockings to the person's braid just to secure the person's stockings, and it stays in place throughout their install. And now we're just gonna cut off that extra stockings that we do not need. Okay, we don't need no extra stockings hanging over our hair like that, so we're gonna cut that off. All right, now we have our stocking secure. I'm just using this Ruby Kisses foundation, and I try to get the foundation that matches my client's skin, and I just use a brush and I apply the foundation to the person's head on top of the stockings. This just helps give the stocking a realistic look of being natural on the person's wig. So when you do part the wig, the hair parting looks as natural as possible. That's the reason why we do the ball cap method. Next, I'm taking some alcohol and I am applying it to her hairline, just making sure I'm cleaning off any extra makeup that might have smeared on her forehead, because we want the glue to stick when we apply it, and you cannot have a dirty hairline or a makeup surface hairline. The glue will not stick, so you have to clean it up with alcohol. After that, I just went in here and I put the wig on to try it on her, just to make sure the size will fit. Alright, so once the wig was situated over her hair, I went in here and poured it back, and it's time to apply our glue. I'm using my Ghost Bond glue. I usually do about 3 layers of this glue. I apply the first layer and let it get dry, clear. It goes on white, but it gets dry, clear. And then I apply second layer and then third layer. Once I hit the third layer and it's dry, clear, then I will go ahead and pull the wig down on top of the glue. Alright, so after the third layer is dry, I'm just going to go ahead and pull the wig down on the glue. And usually I do it section by section, and I ask the client to hold each section as I pull the wig down. Now, as you guys can see, that glue is down, and you can see this lace on this LuvMe hair. The lace looks pretty good. The lace actually matches her skin. You can barely see the lace in the front. Right now, I just use a little bit of got-to-be spray. I usually use a got-to-be spray or regular holding spray. I would spray in between a thin layer of the hairline, and then I would tie it down with my elastic band. And I usually let the elastic band sit for about 10 minutes. And once the 10 minutes is up, you take it off and you can see how nicely melted that lace is on her hairline, okay? Next, I want to move on to the back. I usually sew down the back of the wig on top of my person's hair. I just don't like the wig just hanging and flapping all by itself in the back. So I always like section off a spot in between the hair, the tracks, and I will take my thread and needle and sew the wig down to my clients' cornrows or their braids underneath. And when I'm doing this step, I usually try to feel on the person's cornrows because I do not want to poke them with the needle. Sometimes it can happen, okay? But listen, I try my best for that not to happen. So I always stick my fingers underneath the wig and make sure that I am putting the needle through the braids and not on the person's scalp, okay? All right, so once we tied and secure down the back, we're gonna move on to the front now and cut off the extra lace that is hanging over her face. I am using our eyebrow razor. This just help give the lace a jagged edges. Cut is not a straight cut when you use the eyebrow razor. So I use the eyebrow razor to cut off the extra lace in the front, and then I use my pair of scissors to make sure that her ears and her ear tabs are nicely cut and it surrounds her ear nicely and that is nice and flat. All right, so once the wig is on, we have to style it now. Once we have the glue laid and the lace is melted, it's time for us to style it. So starting off with styling, the first thing I do is separate the baby hair from the regular hair, okay? I usually pull the baby hair in the front and I use some wax sticks with some spritz just to do a nice press out to the front. Pressing out the front just helps make the baby hair lays better and it just makes the front look really nice and clean. So I just love to press out the front before even starting to style. After pressing out the front, it's time to give her a part. She wanted two pigtails, the little ponytails bun, two of it in the front, and then she wanted the rest of the hair in the back to just be curly and lace flat. Okay, so it's like a half up, half down type of hairstyle. So for this style, she wanted a middle part. So I did went ahead and gave her a middle part. I did spray a little bit of spritz and I'm tying it down just to make sure that if I did lift the lace a little bit when I was pressing the hair out, just to make sure that the lace melts down flat again. All right, so after 10 minutes of the lace being tied down, when I take that lace off, girl, we have the ultimate melt. Okay, that lace is melted, as you guys can see. Moving on with the styling process, we are going to open up this part. Every time you get your lace frontal, when you part it and you don't see the part, you have to do the extra mile. Take your tweezers and pluck out that part. Every install I do, part gets plugged, whether I make a wig, whether I do an install on my client, that part be plugged out because that's the only way the hairstyle looks natural, it looks open, and it just makes the wig install look flawless. So opening your part, just like melting your lace, is the ultimate must when you are doing an install. And as you guys can see, I go in with my tweezer and I pluck out that part. Every hairstyle you see, my part be opening up, I plug my part out. I go in, there is nicely wide and open that you can see the part. Next, using my hot comb again, I'm going to press it out. You have to press it out. You have to open the part. You have to press it out. You have to melt down. It's a whole shebang, and you gotta do the steps to have a flawless install, okay? So right now I just put a little bit of wax stick, and then I'm using my hot comb, and I'm going to press it out. Once I have my part open up nicely, as you guys can see, now it's time to cut off the baby hair. I'm using my eyebrow shaving stick as usual, and this just helps give me an edgy look to the baby hair. It's not a blunt cut. So I use my eyebrow razor and I chip off or shave off the baby hair just to make them shorter, that it looks a little bit more natural. All right, you guys, as you can see, this install is coming together, okay? We have our part, we have our baby hair shorter. Now it's time for us to lay those baby hair. Now, when it comes to my baby hair, for her, it depends on the client. Some clients like their baby hair a lot, especially my younger clients. And then my older clients, they just want no baby hair or minimal baby hair. And then I have my in-between clients who just want a okay baby hair. They don't want it too dramatic. They don't want too much baby hair, but they want a little bit of baby hair. So she one of the ones who wants a little bit of baby hair, but not too much, okay? So for my baby hair, there's two ways I do it. I either use my Nairobi mousse to lay it down, but using the Nairobi mousse, you have to work fast because it does wet the lace, and if the lace gets wet onto the glue, it makes the lace lift. So I try not to use it all the time. For that reason, I will substitute and I will use my carolinejmitchell gel. This just gave the baby hair a nice little hold, and it keeps the baby hair in place. But the ultimate goal, it does not lift the lace. So that's my reason why I usually use the carolinejmitchell for my baby hair. If not, then I would just use my mousse if I'm up to it, and making sure that it doesn't lift up the lace. And once I have those baby hair laid, as you guys can see, she didn't want too much baby hair, but she wanted a little bit of baby hair. So I did give her the minimums, okay? It still looks nice. It still looks natural in the front, okay? Now I'm going to take my Senex wrap strips, and I want to tie those baby hair down so they are nice and flat, and it looks natural when I take the Senex wraps off. And now, like I said earlier, she wanted two pigtails or two bun up in the front, and then have the rest of the hair down. So like a half up, half down type of hairstyle. Okay, so I'm just grabbing the first section, and I'm using my rubber bands, and I'm just making a small little ponytail in the front before I go ahead to the other side, and then I'm gonna do the same things. Make a small section with a ponytail, and just making sure that the hair is nice and sleek and firm. And then I'm using my rubber bands and forming the two ponytails. Once I have my ponytail, I'm just using a little bit of spritz in my hot comb, and I'm just making sure the top is nice and sleek and flat. I'm just making the hair looks flawless on top. Next, I'm taking my spray bottle, it's mixed with water and a little bit of conditioner, and I put it on the curls to make the curls pop. And then I'm using my diamond brush to comb the curls out, just to enhance the curls again. And then she just wanted it wrapped into two little bun in the front. So I went ahead and I wrap it up, and I'm using some hairpins to secure it in place. All right, so once I have my two bun in the front, it's time to move on to the back. I'm going to just hydrate the curls with some water and a little bit of conditioner. And then I'm going to take my dimming brush again and I'm going to comb the curls out. They just help enhances the curls, remove the frizziness from the curls, and makes the curls hydrated so it looks nice and flourish and the curls just looks popping. Okay, that's the reason why we do this, and this is why I use my diamond brush to make those curls pop. And once I have the curls nicely hydrated, I'm just taking a little bit of conditioner and I am applying it to the curls. This what keeps the curls hydrated, so that the curls do not turn dry up. And I tell my clients, get you some conditioner and use it on your curly hair because it just helps to make the curls hydrated and keep the curls hydrated throughout the day. And after hydrating the curls, it is time to take that Sinex off. I went ahead and I took the Sinex off, and the baby hair is laying so nicely. And this hairstyle turned out so cute. Her face looks like a little girl or a teenager, like a teenage girl. Maybe she's 16 or 15, okay? But this was a cute, cute hairstyle. I actually enjoy doing this hairstyle. It's very different from most of my install, but I love the two little buns in the front and I love the curliness of the hair in the back, okay? LuvMe hair did justice with these curls. They were popping after I hydrated them. And I'm going to ask her for the links for the hair, and so I can post them in the description box if somebody wants to check them out. But as always, thank you all for watching. I love you. And if you haven't subscribed, I just don't know what you're waiting for because we have more videos like this. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you all in my next video. Bye.